Here in Miami, it's always been about Dan Marino, but now that image has been immortalized. This is a new Dolphin team with a new quarterback. And this afternoon, under the bright sunshine here at Pro Player Stadium, the Miami Dolphins host the Green Bay Packers. Hi, everyone. Scott Graham along with Brian Baldinger. And Brian, right now you've got a Dolphins team that is bouncing back from a nightmare on Monday night, their worst collapse ever. Obviously, this defense was burned, and the defense, the heart and soul of it, is really the cornerbacks.
Well, really, they gave up 30 points in the fourth quarter in that overtime loss to the Jets, and they were stung, but I like the way the Dolphins play defense. It all starts with our two cornerbacks, Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain. These are shut-down corners. They take the receivers out of the game, and they make the quarterback throw perfect throws in order to have success.
Now, Zach Thomas also out today. Now, the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, of course, as always, is Brett Favre. Now, Favre told us this week that he's staying within the confines of the offense more so than ever before. Brian, what exactly does that mean?
Well, look, Brett is always going to be greedy. He always wants touchdowns. But today, with those receivers struggling against press man-to-man coverage, he's going to have to rely on the checkdowns. That means the two running backs, Ahman Green and Dorsey Levens. These guys have to have success coming out of the backfield and creating the safety net for Brett Favre when those receivers struggle downfield.
Each of these teams has talked this week about this being a must-win game, but the Packers have never beaten the Dolphins here in South Florida. We'll be back for the start of today's game between the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins after these words from your local Fox station. Miami, a gorgeous day, 84 degrees. The humidity could play a factor at 93%. Scott Graham along with Brian Baldinger. Let's take you down to the field now to Drew Smith.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach Wannstedt. A tough week last week. Guys have tried to put that behind you. What do you do to get the team's mindset back in a winning mindset?
I think playing at home, should help us. There's no question about it. And we tried to back off them physically as much as we could. But the mental thing, we're going to need some leadership today, guys, to step up and grab this thing by the horns.
You played Brett Favre a dozen times as a head coach. Haven't had a lot of success against him. What do you do now to take on Brett Favre?
Well, we've got to do a good job of keeping steady pressure on him. There's no question about that. If you give him time, he can make any throw out there that any quarterback can make.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Back upstairs.
We are underway. William Henderson, the upback, taking the kick from Murray. And he works it out near the 40-yard line where Green Bay will begin offensively. And, of course, they work behind their quarterback, Brett Favre, doing what no other quarterback has done before him. His 133rd consecutive start for Favre. Rookies on the corners in terms of Green Bay, in terms of the tackles, Jack Clifton and Mark Tosher. First time that's happened in the NFL since 1995. And Bubba Franks went to the University of Miami, gets the start at tight end today. Antonio Freeman coming off his first 100-yard game of the year against the Niners. Opening drives this year, the Packers have been entirely shut out. On first down, and play action, there is Franks quickly into the offense. And a gain of 10 yards, good for a Packers first down. The Dolphins' defensive unit looks this way up front. It's the first time you're going to see Darrell Gardner back since the 15th of September. He's been down with back surgery. He helps to anchor that very strong defensive line. Larry Izzo in for Zach Thomas, special teams player making his first NFL start. Madison and Curtain are the cornerbacks. They're responsible for 10 of the team's 13 interceptions.
Favre today playing behind two rookie offensive tackles. Bubba Franks jumped a little bit there at the right tight end spot. Back here to his home where he played at the University of Miami.
First down.
Jerry Austin, the referee, making the call, the first penalty of the game, and it will make it a 1st and 15 now for the Packers at their own 45.
A big change for that Packer defense today. You mentioned at the open, Scott. Larry Izzo playing in the middle for the heart and soul of this defense. Zach Thomas out with the high ankle sprain.
Freeman in motion. And the give through the middle to Levens is going to get him about a yard and a half. Tim Bowen's there for the tackle for the Dolphins.
There's Izzo right there, right in the middle, talking to Frank Winters. He's going to see a lot of Frank today. That's his first start. This is his first start today, and he's going to be out there to shut down the run. He's coming off the field now as a nickel package comes onto the field. But they want to shut down the Packers in that running game on first down and then get their sub-packages in.
Izzo said he spent 4 or 5 extra hours working film this week getting ready for this.
Just to see Frank Winters. Just to have that headache created by Frank.
On second down. Favre setting up the screen, and now Levens with some blocking. Good tackle made defensively by Robert Jones from behind. Back near the original line of scrimmage, it'll be 3rd down and long.
Scott, when you asked me at the Open what that means, that Brett is doing a better job of understanding the offense this year, he's taking what the defenses gives him. And that's the check down right there to Dorsey Levens. Dorsey Levens, when healthy, is as good a back coming out of the backfield as there is in the league, and a real comfort zone for Brett.
You see the numbers on Favre over his 10-year career. Facing a third down now and almost full 10 yards to go.
Look at this right here. Everybody on Miami's defense on the line of scrimmage.
Favre with some time, and the open receiver is Levens. He's close to a first down. Derek Rogers made the tackle, but that's going to be good enough for a measurement near the 40-yard line.
Scott, the Green Bay made a change on the offensive line here 2 weeks ago. Chad Clifton now playing the left tackle position, the number two draft pick, working on Jason Taylor. I mean, Favre does a nice job of just sliding and buying a little bit of time, waiting for Levens, and there's the check down again. Just shy of the first down here, Scott.
Well, they marked him a good half yard shy, and the Packers are deciding to go for it here on fourth down. A two tight end set. The give to Levens, and he's got first down yardage inside the 39. Darrell Gardner made the tackle, but the Packers now 4 for 5 this year and going for it on fourth down.
And you know, you saw how quickly they got rid of the ball. They got up to the line of scrimmage, they got down, they got set, and they got it going. Before the defense could get set, get their feet dug into the ground, the ball was already snapped. So nice play calling there by Brett, getting rid of the ball quickly.
Levens coming off a 57-yard performance last time against the Niners. He's been replaced now by Amon Green.
Amon will do a lot of the same things that Dorsey does. He gives him a little bit more speed, not quite the amount of experience.
Henderson, the man in motion, and it is Green running off the right side and working his way down inside the 35-yard line before being stopped by Larry Izzo.
You know, Brett Favre calls Amon Green Little Bo, as in Little Bo Jackson. He's a short, powerful guy with great speed. He said that in high school in Dallas, he ran a 10.3 100 meters, which is close to world-class speed. And so when he can get into the open field, when he can get a split, he's a guy that can take it to the house on him. The house meaning the touchdown. The 6 points.
Thank you.
Hager.
On second down, Green alone back in the backfield, and Favre will work with 4 wide receivers. There is Green bouncing it outside. He's going to get it down inside the 32-yard line before being stopped by Rodgers.
You know, if you're going to run the football against Miami, you got to contend with a couple of really great defensive tackles, and Tim Bowens and Darrell Gardner. Gardner coming back from back surgery. You have to move those guys. And one thing that Miami does across their defense is they isolate individual matchups. The offensive guards today, Marco Rivera at right guard, Ross Burba left guard, they've got to be able to move those guys to get movement for the running game to get going.
Third down, a 3 wide receiver set. And Favre hands to Green, nothing doing it. Down low, Jerry Wilson, who was coming on a blitz, stops him for a loss. It'll be fourth down.
I said you got to move Bowens and Gardner, and they didn't get moved very far. Here's the big guy right there, Gardner. That's Gardner right there at the bottom, right here. I mean, he's the one that started the penetration. Jerry Wilson, nice job of filling in from his nickel back spot. Coming in and cleaning it up.
Now Ryan Longwell, whose season long is 51 yards, will try this one. It should be marked as 51. He's only missed once this year. A lot of distance on the kick. And the Packers will take the early lead with their first drive. The first points the Packers have scored on an opening drive this year. They take a 3-0 advantage here in the first. Back in Florida where the Packers have taken the early lead, and we talked about it early. These two guys, the running backs, both Levens and Green, will be a big part of the offense today.
Both guys have been banged up this year, but they're the healthiest they've been all year, coming off of the bye week, and probably the healthiest they'll be all year.
Ryan Longwell into the kick. It'll be Brock Marion, who had a big performance on Monday night returning kickoffs, taking it straight up the field. And he'll be dropped just outside the 15-yard line. Matt Snyder downfield and special teams helping out. Up with the Dolphins offensively, Jay Fiedler getting his 9th start. Did a terrific job throwing the ball downfield early in that game on Monday night. In terms of the line, Richmond Webb, a 7-time Pro Bowler. Todd Wade, a rookie in the right tackle spot. And in terms of the backs and receivers, Lamar Smith has already had a career-high 560 yards. Leslie Shepard, a couple of long touchdown catches on Monday night.
Miami's doing a great job of establishing the run this year, and the key has been Lamar Smith at the tailback position. Tough guy, hard to bring down.
Dolphins did a lot of throwing on first down on Monday night. Back to the run, and Smith trying to establish it immediately, cuts it up the field, and works his way out for a gain of about 5 yards to the 21-yard line. For the Packers defensively, up front, they are healthy again. Theory, Dotson, and Hunt combining for 11.5 sacks along that defensive line. Brian Williams still trying to bounce back from his knee injury. Niall Diggs, the rookie, in the strong linebacker spot. And in the defensive secondary, Mike McKenzie makes his first starts and suffering a knee injury in the opener against the New York Jets. Numbers on Fiedler, threw for 250 yards on Monday night. Smith again. This time ridden down by Brian Williams, who was clogging the hole out at the 28-yard line. He'll set up third down at about 3.
Well, Miami comes out trying to establish the run, and a big theme here today is who's going to control the line of scrimmage in this side of the ball. That Miami offensive line or the Green Bay Packers defensive line, who's now a little bit healthier, a little fresh coming off the bye. But everything Miami does is based off of his success running the football. That is Lamar Smith. When they can run the ball and control the clock, Jay Fiedler becomes a pretty efficient quarterback.
4 wide receivers now for Fiedler to choose from on third down. Thurman Thomas in the backfield. Fiedler a timing pattern and first down yardage to O.J. McDuffie. And now we'll take you back to James Brown on the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles for an NFL.
He's just scoring a touchdown. I mean, getting him involved in the game early is so important to a big receiver like that. Confidence.
Now the Dolphins off of first down now, have it at their own 29-yard line. Thurman Thomas is the lone back in the backfield. They don't take the hand. Not a lot of running room. Bernardo Harris comes to cut him down after a pickup of about 2. Now you saw what had happened early on for Minnesota-Tampa Bay. Last time they played, Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss hooked up for the game-winning touchdown. And you see what kind of numbers that Culpepper and Moss are putting up on the season.
I think Culpepper's big game this year was against the Dolphins, week 2, up there in Minnesota. And people thought this defense was going to come after and shut him down. He really showed everybody that he can stand in the pocket, look down the barrel of a gun, take a hit, and deliver a nice throw.
Vikings, the only undefeated team left in the NFL. Fiedler through the hands of McDuffie and nearly picked off. Sharper had a hand on it as it was hitting the turf, but it falls incomplete.
A couple things here, Scott. Jake Fiedler on the bootleg right here. Going to roll out. This is all set up on a strong side run that we've seen about the first 3 or 4 plays of the game. Nice job to get Theory biting. But that throw to O.J. McDuffie, probably the first throw that he's ever thrown to McDuffie on a bootleg. It's McDuffie's first action back from 2 toe surgeries this offseason, and they just haven't had a whole lot of time working together.
36% on third down conversions, now facing a 3rd and 8.
Let's look here from Green Bay.
They'll show that a lot today. Fiedler with time, and the open receiver's got Gadsden for the first down. Aronde Gadsden turned out to be one of his favorite receivers on Monday night with 7 catches for 119 yards, brought down by Tyrone Williams.
Well, here's the look. Brian Williams inside along with Scotty McGarrahan in the middle. Roy Butler coming free. Nice pickup that time by Thurman Thomas in his 13th year. But Jay Fiedler is not going to get rattled, and he makes good decisions with the football. That time, Aronde Gadsden using that big body. He was a basketball player at Winston-Salem State, basically getting low post position on Tyrone Williams.
Now a 2-back look from the Dolphins on first down. Lamar Smith is the deep back, and they'll work play action. Fiedler has the time. It's incomplete. He was looking for Leslie Shepard. Shepard wanted contact. Leroy Butler and Darren Sharper were closing down at the Green Bay 45-yard line.
Well, the fans let everybody know that he thought there was some contact. Here's Leslie Shepard coming in underneath the linebackers. Darren Sharper, you know what? That's a good play by Sharper. He got the backhand on the back of Leslie Shepard, but he didn't turn him. You can put the backhand back there and rest it there and knock it down with his left hand. You just can't turn the receiver and take him off the football.
On second down, Thomas the lone setback now. And he works the draw. Thurman Thomas has it tried free. Who got it? If the Packers recovered, it's their first recovery of a fumble this year, and the Packers have picked it up at the 42-yard line of the Dolphins. Brian Williams with a fumble recovery.
Something they have not been able to do, but they worked on during the bye week. Tim Ruddy in the middle. That's good pressure that time by Warren in the backfield, but looks like Theory from behind. Oh, that's Brian Williams. Pulled that ball out.
And caught it.
Brian Williams stripped the ball. Watch Brian Williams here with his right hand. He pulls the ball out, and somehow laying on his back, that's a circus act right there. On his back, able to bring the ball into it.
First fumble recovery of the season for the Packers, who are a -10 turnover differential coming into the game. Now Favre going to work with Dorsey Levens inside the 40-yard line. The tackle by Derek Rogers after a pickup of about 5 yards.
Now that time again, that's the check down to Dorsey Levens. And the reason why he went there is because the coverage down the field. Here's Schrader up top working on Sam Madison. I mean, Brett takes one look at that and he sees good coverage. He sees this over here in a zone look. Nice job picked up by Robert Jones there. He can't, with 2 rookie tackles right now, he knows that that clock inside his head's got to be fast. And so right away, finding Levens as the safety net.
4 for 4. It's all those check down passes here in the first quarter. Now Favre, this is one of the things he does best. Turn in the corner and caught from behind by Jason Taylor in hot pursuit. Thrown for a loss back outside the 42-yard line.
Oh, this is what Brett's looking at now. This is what Miami does as well as any team in football. They're going to lock up on these receivers right here, and they're not going to let them breathe. Wherever those receivers go, that's where those corners are going to go. Brett wants to go deep. This here is well covered there. Now it's just a question of Jason Taylor chasing him down, and Jason Taylor's going to win that matchup.
A loss of 4 yards on the play, and Favre now facing a third down at about 10.
Got the receivers have to win today in order for Favre to have success down the field.
Well, Favre is going to have to take a timeout now as the play clock was winding down. Third down facing him late here in the first quarter. The Packers with the early lead. First quarter lead, Brett Favre, despite his propensity for late game heroics, has told his team throughout the season, guys, we can't wait till the last drive. We've got to get it done in the early drives as well.
Yeah, well, too many people think that he can just go into that phone booth and put the cape on and come out and rescue him. And he's telling them it doesn't work that way. That's not the way you go and win a Super Bowl.
Both Green and Levens in the backfield now on third down and 9 yards to go. And it is Levens. With a block in front of him, he'll have first down yardage. Nice block by Antonio Freeman downfield. And the Packers move the sticks down to the 31-yard line.
Right call on Antonio Freeman right there, because Freeman got up like he caught the pass. He made this first down possible. Again, a check down here to Dorsey Levens. As the Dolphins only rushed 3, and they drop 8 in coverage. But here's the block right there on Terrence Shaw. Just enough of a chip here for Levens to pick up the first down. And that's good teamwork by Antonio Freeman, a guy who likes to get involved in the game early, but threw the block in order for them to hang on to the football.
Now here is Levens. Not a lot for him there. No gain on the play as Jason Taylor stepped up from the right defensive side to stick it.
But if you're going to run the football between the tackles against the Dolphins, you're going to have to move Darryl Gardner and Tim Bones. And Tim Bowe right there is playing the best football of his career. Now, he's always been a good anchor, but now they're leaving him on the field and they're throwing him a bone. They're letting him rush the passer, and he seems to be responding to it. You know, he's like a fire hydrant in there. You can't get low enough to get underneath him. And then if you do, he's too big to move, and he's too wide to get around.
A two-back set for the Packers now on second down. Favre with some time again, and watch the speed of Lon Green. He'll take it down near the first down marker, taken down by Robert Jones. But once again, you're trying to isolate that speed, and Green says, Brian, that no linebacker can really stay with him throughout a ball game.
You're right about that, and what we've seen today is exactly what we said at the start, that these receivers are going to have a hard time getting open. Right now, Favre's getting good protection, but he's taking the safe throws. They're moving the chains right now, and this is really what the Jets did to the Dolphins on Monday night. They just took what the Dolphins gave them, they beat them underneath, And then once they got used to beating him underneath, they went deep with a couple of throws.
Badgers doing a good job in the first of moving the ball. Now Favre as the open man. And close to first down yardage again is Tyrone Davis. The tight end skips out of bounds near the 11-yard line.
That's all the underneath guys that are having success. And Favre right now is red hot. Here's Davis right here, just going to be running an out route on Robert Jones, number 52 there. Robert Jones got caught looking in the backfield 1 second too long and allowed Davis to get a little separation.
Davis nursing a shoulder problem, a rotator cuff problem. Right now, Brett Favre taking his team into the red zone as the best in the NFL.
This is where you'd really like to be able to run the football because defenses are so compressed in their zone coverage.
On first down, the corner trying to get it to Schrader and a flag on the play.
Schrader was a decathlete at the University of Wisconsin lacrosse. It looked like he was doing the pole vault there.
Interference, defense 22 in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Got in that comeback and that fourth quarter collapse the other night, there were 6 defensive penalties. Some of them questionable, but yet 6 defensive penalties. There's Shaw working on the outside here. It looks like he had the arm bar up, the left arm out, preventing Schrader from getting to the football. That's maybe what they call. Regardless, first down for Green Bay at the 1.
Now William Henderson is the blocking back for Levens on first down and goal. And Dorsey Levens into the end zone for the touchdown. A 1-yard run. Just over a minute left here in the quarter. And the Packers now with a chance at a 10-point lead.
I think Favre has been perfect. We run right behind William Henderson here. Nice job of blocking Trace Armstrong on the outside. That got the corner free for Levens.
So here is Ryan Longwell, who is a perfect 12 for 12 in point after attempts this year. And the kick is good. Well, the Green Bay Packers trying to get back to 500. An opportunity here in this one. They've got a 10-point lead as we zero in on Halloween. Dorsey Levens finds Bader. The first quarter lead, in part due to a pass interference penalty that set the ball down at the 1-yard line, called on Terrence Shaw.
Packers been notorious slow starters, and that's not the case here today.
Ryan Longwell's kickoff fielded by Marion up near the 12-yard line. And Marion forced out of bounds up near the 28. Under a minute to play here in the first quarter. The Green Bay Packers holding a 10-point lead. Well, here in Miami, they're the two principals involved in a big penalty that set up the Green Bay touchdown that extended the lead to 10 points. First down now for Fiedler. Trying to get the running game going, and Smith trying to get outside. He's going to get maybe a yard out across the 30.
Got that interference penalty on Terrence Shaw right here against Billy Schrader. I don't know if it wasn't the other way around here. Billy Schrader, I mean, Terrence Shaw has as much right to this football as does Schrader. Watch Schrader come over the top of him. Basically corralled him. I thought Terrence Shaw had good position on the play. You know, there could be offensive interference just as well. And the same rules apply.
On second down, the lone set back Thomas, and play action now for Fiedler. He's going to Thurman Thomas. And a good play defensively by Bernardo Harris to come in and take his legs out from underneath him. It'll set up a third down now for Fiedler and the Miami offense. But that third down will come up at the other end of the field. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Green Bay 10, Miami nothing. Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. 10-0 as we begin the second quarter. Green Bay going for their first ever win here in Miami against the Dolphins. And a big part of it early has been the play of Brett Favre. Going to those checkdowns, he's a perfect 7 for 7.
Well, that's what he's looking at there. He's looking at the photo album of the pictures, and he's looking at the coverages. Right now, Brett doing an excellent job of just taking what the defense gives him. We thought that would be the case, and right now, Miami looking sluggish through the first quarter.
A third down now for the Dolphins. They've got to get it out to the 39-yard line. And now look at the snap. A gadget play. Thurman Thomas is going to come up short. Right now, let's return to James Brown of the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles.
Waiting for the team to exploit that Minnesota secondary because nobody's really gotten to him yet. And right now, it looks like Tampa Bay taking advantage of a weakness, I think, on that team.
There is Matt Turk now for his first punt of the afternoon. Alan Rossum, averaging just under 9 yards per return, is back deep to take it inside his own 20. Turk's got a strong leg. Couldn't get that one to turn over, though. And it'll take a bounce and die, getting down by the Miami Dolphins just outside the 30-yard line. So far, it has been all about Green Bay's offense controlling the tempo of the game for a 10-0 lead. But it's been a very trying week for Dolphins head coach Dave Wanstead, coming off Monday night's collapse against the Jets, trying to get his team ready so that there is no carryover effect in today's game with the Packers. Green Bay, who has dominated time of possession here early, has a first down now and 3 men in motion. There is Dorsey Levens to the middle of the field. He'll work his way out across the 37-yard line for a 6-yard pickup. When you start talking about what this Dolphins defense has done this year, you're talking about a complete turnaround on Monday night.
Well, in 27 quarters going into the final quarter Monday night, they'd only given up 4 touchdowns. They gave up 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. You know, and there it is, 235 yards passing, 20 first downs. I mean, that's a good day's work in 4 quarters of football. They gave up 20 to Vinny and company, and once it started steamrolling, they couldn't get out of the way, and they ended up getting rolled up.
Second down now, Favre. Play action has the open man, and is Franks for first down yardage. Taken down by Robert Jones out across the 48-yard line.
What a piece of deception by the rookie, the first-round draft pick, Bubba Franks. Nice piece of acting here. Give him an Oscar. Watch him fall down here on the ground and lose the linebacker, Robert Jones, a little bit. Gets down, gets thrown down to the ground, and gets back up. Robert Jones thinks he's blocking. It's good play, run fake right there. Good play action pass. It's a guy that's getting more and more in this offense, and he's going to be a big-time player in this league before it's all over.
On first down, back to the air with a corner blitz coming. Look at the arm on Brett Favre. And a flag on the play as Schrader got locked up down there again with Terrence Shaw.
Wow, what a call by the back judge. The back judge threw that flag from the center of the field. And the side judge had a good look at it right along the sidelines.
22 defense, automatic first down.
Second pass interference call on Terrence Shaw, and this one could be easily as significant as the Packers are going to get the ball down at the Miami 13.
Well, there's the matchup there. Antonio Freeman, Terrence Shaw. Shaw never turns to look for the football, and just a little bit of arm play going back and forth with the wide receiver. But, boy, again, kind of a very flagrant act over there by the corner. I think if he had turned to look, they'd been more forgiving. The fact that he never looked at the ball or made a play for the ball, that's why the flag came out.
39 yards on the penalty. First down now. A 2 tight end set for Favre. And it is Levens with the extra blocking, working his way down inside the 10-yard line to the 8. Look at the first quarter stats. Green Bay came into the game, Brian, with only 13 points off turnovers all year. They got 7 in the first quarter.
Well, certainly, the Thurman Thomas fumble, the strip by Brian Williams in the recovery, set up the first touchdown there of the Packers. Right now, this Miami Dolphin defense on the field for a long time in the first quarter and now into the second quarter. They never got home from that Monday night game to 6:30 in the morning. How do you refreshen yourself in a short week after a debacle like that?
Freeman in motion, and now Levens to the lead block. Getting to the outside, and he will be marked. No, it's a touchdown. Touchdown for Levens. He just got the hand inside the pylon from 7 yards out. And suddenly, this is a 16-0 game.
Yeah, running behind the rookie Chad Clifton at left tackle. Gets a good block on Richie Owens, and then a good kick out that time. Stiff arm. I mean, a lot of things going on in that play for Levens to get into the end zone. And for Dorsey Levens, the healthiest that he's been all season. And when he's healthy, it's a huge part of this offense.
Longwell for the point. And a bit of a shock now for the crowd here in Miami. Dorsey Levens From 7 yards away. You got a flag on the play on the extra point. Right now, Sam Madison and Matt Snyder. A couple of players got locked up in a bit of a shoving match after that play, but we'll see what the effect of the flag is.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 29 of the defense. Will be penalized on the kickoff, 15 yards.
Well, Sam Madison called for the personal foul, and penalties now, and some frustration setting in for the Miami Dolphins. Down by 17 points. Dorsey Levens, a pair of rushing touchdowns here in the first half of play. The Green Bay Packers in control. Who says Packer fans can only enjoy the cold weather, Brian?
Hey, let me tell you something. You know, the Cheeseheads travel with their team. They're great fans, and, of course, if you're a real fan, you get a tattoo right on your shoulder. I saw them out there getting sunburned all weekend long.
Big kickoff from Longwell right through the back of the end zone. And the Dolphins are going to get an opportunity to start at their own 20-yard line. Right now, Miami with a lot of ground to make up. Packers having their day in the sun.
Touchdown run by Dorsey Levens. Look at the action right here by Frank Winters and Ross Burba on Jermaine Haley. And then the kickout block here by William Henderson. And the Dolphins here look like they're suffering from a bad hangover of Monday night. Dave Wannstedt knows it. He's getting his troops fired up on the sideline, talking to his leader out there, Sam Madison. Tell him to stay with it.
And it was Madison who was hit for that personal foul, and that big kickoff resulted from the 15-yard penalty. Well, the Dolphins start at their own 20-yard line. Here's Smith. He hasn't gotten on track just yet. Finding his way to the outside, and a good pickup on first down of about 7 yards. Another Green Bay scoring drive, and once again, the guy that hits pay dirt is Dorsey Levens, his second touchdown of the day on that 4-play, 69-yard drive.
You know, the Green Bay's best effort today, this year so far, was against Arizona. They just dominated the game. They won 26-3. It was in the heat. And I think this team, you know, I think they like coming down and playing this kind of weather. Brett said, you got the sauna effect, you've got the steam room effect. Going to Miami is like the steam room effect. They've been hydrating themselves all week and are fresh here today.
Jet Weaver, the tight end, in motion. And now Smith will try the right side. He's close to the first down marker, probably about a half-yard shy. The tackle made by John Theory out across the 29.
There it is. I mean, not much to go on in the first two possessions. It had a nice drive going in the first one. Really had Green Bay off balance until Thurman Thomas fumbled and then suffered what I call a strikeout in the second possession. And they had 4 of those in the fourth quarter. And they're trying to hang on to that lead Monday night. This is a better running team, but the next hurdle for this team is to be able to run the ball when they have to eat the clock and hold on to the ball.
Once again, out of a 2 tight end set on 3rd and short. Play action for Fiedler. The blitz coming, and Fiedler's going to get dropped. Sacked by Vonnie Holliday, just in for the first time on this series, and playing for the first time since he hurt himself in Arizona. Holliday with his first sack of the season.
Well, Holliday gets a sack, but McKenzie makes the play. He comes on the blitz, and he gets pressure on Fiedler. It forces Fiedler to step up a little quick. And then Vonnie Holliday, with an irrepressible motor, catches him from the backside. Nice call by Ed Donato, the defensive coordinator.
Now Matt Turk gets that one to turn over, and Rossum will be backed up near his own 20. Avoiding the first man, and Rossum, who's got good speed, gets to the outside. And he stepped out of bounds out near the 35-yard line. That is where the Green Bay Packers will take over offensively. Right now, the defense working for the Pack. Fox NFL Sunday begins with JV here on Fox starting at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific next Sunday. Right now, we'll return to James Brown of the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles for Indianapolis behind Peyton Manning, trying for their second consecutive 6-2 start in back-to-back seasons.
Playing real solid football right now, along with the Redskins and the Tennessee Titans.
Brett Favre back to work, finds the tight end Tyrone Davis. But Sam Madison comes up to stop him for virtually no gain on the play, setting up 3rd down.
You know, Sam Madison was in the Pro Bowl last year, and he's an emotional leader of this football team. He dictates a lot of the tempo that this Dolphins play with, and right now with 3 interceptions, I mean, I think he's had more interceptions than any defensive back in football the last 3 years. They need to make a play, and this is the first time today they've been able to force a 3rd and long situation.
Oh, Sam Madison, who laid the hits on Tyrone Davis. Davis still down on the turf. And the Packers will have a 3rd down facing them. Field under his own power. His teammates now with a 3rd down and long. Barr going underneath his 10th completed pass in 10 tries, but Ahman Green is well short of the 1st down.
A couple things, Scott. One, you got 2 rookie tackles in the playing against Trace Armstrong and Jason Taylor. You want to get rid of the football quickly. Here's Mark Tauscher on the outside working against the leading sacker in the AFC. Mark Tauscher does a nice job on Trace Armstrong. And then here's Chad Clifton. Kind of a big stud out of Tennessee. 2nd-round pick. Used to playing in big games, protecting the backside of Peyton Manning. A nice job finishing Taylor there. Favre had time, but again, no time to go down the field to the wide receiver.
Josh Bidwell getting the kick away, and Leslie Shepard a chance to return. He'll work it out near the 35-yard line, and that is where a Dolphin offensive unit, which has struggled thus far, will take over. 38-yard punt for Josh Bidwell at his first attempt of the day. Now, coming up later today, catch
these big plays in offense come off of play-action passes. They haven't been on the field long enough to really establish a run for that to work.
Lamar Smith has some room to run and gets upended. Leroy Butler coming up to make the stick, but this Miami team has been notorious this year, Brian, for 3 and outs.
Well, there's strikeouts there. I mean, they lead the league right now, 31 of them coming into today, and the last 2 possessions have been 3 and out. And the bad thing about that, Scott, when it happens is it's hard to get a rhythm. And then secondly, your defense isn't on resting very long on the sideline. They're right back onto the field. So it's kind of a snowball effect for a team.
Time of possession was a problem for Dave Wanstead's team in the 4th quarter on Monday night. It has become one again here today in the 1st half. There's the completed pass for 1st down yardage. A nice throw by Fiedler. And a guy he's been looking to as a more favored target now, Aronde Gadsden, brings it in down at the 48 of the Packers.
We talked to Gadsden on Friday, and I went up and measured his hands against mine. I think I've got some big mitts. Aronde Gadsden's hands are huge. And then he's a big body, too. And here he is. All he does is put his body against Tyrone Williams. He takes a shot from Brian Williams and Leroy Butler. But those mitts of his, you put the ball in there or near him, you're not going to get that ball knocked out of it.
First down out from the Packers' 48-yard line. Once again, Smith. Right side running room down close to the 46-yard line. Bernardo Harris on the stop after about a 2-yard pickup.
If you're going to run the ball to the strong side, Scott, you're going to run behind what I think is a very good blocking tight end, Hunter Goodwin right here, working on the outside. And, he's not known for his pass receiving, only 6 catches this year, but that's working against John Theory that time. And he dug a defensive end right out of the hole and gave a little bit of an opening there for Lamar Smith.
Dolphins trying to get something started offensively. Thus far, they've come up empty. On 2nd down, that throw incomplete. He was trying to find Shepard. Right now, we'll take you back to James Brown on the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles for a strike offense for Minnesota. But Randy Moss at Raymond James Stadium had been held to 4 catches total in 2 games before that touchdown.
Jay Fiedler's first reception in this league was to Randy Moss of Minnesota a couple years ago.
It's 3rd down now. They'll go out of the shotgun. Big blitz coming. And an incompleted pass. He was trying to find Gadsden across the middle.
Well, he wasn't going to have enough for that 1st down, and the pocket started collapsing around Jay Fiedler. That 3rd down was set up because of a bad throw on 2nd down when he had Gadsden to the outside, and he underthrew the ball to the outside. You saw that a little bit in the 4th quarter Monday night, and he had his ribs hurt on Monday night, and I don't know that those ribs are still healthy yet.
Alan Rawson back deep to take the kick of Matt Turk, who's hit it inside the 20 15 times this year. And he'll have another. Inside the 10, the fair catch taken at the 8-yard line. Now, we told you that Green Bay has only gotten Miami once. It was in their last meeting. Jimmy Johnson still at the helm. The Packers' first ever win against the Dolphins. Green Bay winning that game by a 23-18 score. And yes, of course, Dan Marino still was the quarterback for Miami. Mike Holmgren seeing his team hang on for a 5-point win. Miami 8-1 all time against the Packers.
This is 2 completely different teams than 3 years ago. 2 new head coaches, new coordinators. You know, it's just the Miami Dolphins from a year ago under Dave Wannstedt, 26 new players on the team. And half the players in this team weren't there for that debacle against Jacksonville in that playoff game.
Now the crowd getting up into it. Brett Favre a perfect 10 for 10 in pass attempts here this afternoon. Amon Green, the deep back, keeps the legs moving and gets it 2 yards out across the 11-yard line.
Watching Brett Favre last night. He can't take the country out of a country boy. He comes into the meeting and they've got all this bottled water there. You know, one of those designer bottles of water. He pours the designer bottle water out of the bottle so he has something to spit in while he's talking to him. Once you get him into that room and start talking football, he never stops.
Second down and 7 facing him now. And again, it is Green. Good running room. And out close to a first down across the 19-yard line. Robert Jones made a saving tackle. But Green Bay is going to have itself a first down.
Well, this is probably the best play that Amon Green runs. It's a counter play. Going to be faking to the right and then coming back to the left here. Going to get a couple of linemen pulling here. You see the right guard, Marco Rivera, on a kick-out block. Right guard pulling, and that's probably the best play. Watch Amon Green. He buys a little bit of time, sets his blockers up, lets William Henderson get through the hole. And that's what you got to do to Miami. You got to misdirect them. You've got to get angles on these guys because you're not going to move them off the ball straight ahead.
Henderson, the fullback, in now as Freeman comes in motion. Favre wide open to Green, but he can't hang on. First incompleted pass of the day for Brett Favre.
But I mean, if there's one flaw with Amon Green, it's how consistent are his hands. I mean, today so far been perfect up into that. But this is the most wide open a receiver's been all day for Green Bay. But Miami in a blitz that time and found the open end of the field.
He says the first thing he wants to do when he catches is to square and look upfield. And that time it looked like he did it a little bit too early.
Absolutely right, Scott. What about the yards after the catch before the catch?
Favre once again on second down. He's got time, under pressure, and the interception dropped by Madison. He doesn't drop too many.
Well, that was going to be his 4th interception of the season. Sometimes you can try too hard, but here's the pressure down here of Jason Taylor working on Chad Clifton, a rookie. Clifton does a pretty good job of staying with him on the inside move, but Taylor never quits on it. That hit on Favre's throwing arm knocked that ball up in the air. And this defense has to create plays, and that was a play right there that they could have gotten back into this football game on, and Madison's got to be slapping himself for not coming up with it.
They'll go back to the run on 3rd down, but nothing doing. Jason Taylor, one play after the big hit on Brett Favre, gets the tackle for the loss back inside the 19.
Well, the 1997 Rookie of the Year looking like it right now. 2 big plays in a row for Jason Taylor. It was a nice job of reading the trap block by Marco Rivera. Yeah, and you know, the defense has to spark this football team right now. That's where it's got to come from because they're still sleepwalking from Monday night.
Well, that backs up Bidwell. Big rush coming as he lets go of the kick, and it's a good one.
Got a chance to return it.
And Shepard took his eye off it briefly to wait for the fair catch. He calls for it at the 34-yard line. A 47-yard punt with no return, but we got a flag. And a holding call against the Packers.
Holding 59 of the kicking team.
A few mistakes for the Packers today.
Repeat, 4th down.
Well, you hate to re-punt these because guys like Scott McGarrahan and Allen Rossum just ran 50 yards down the field to cover it. You got to come back after that sprint and do it again.
Now there is Niall Diggs, the rookie. He is called for the hold. And that negates a terrific punt with no return. So, as you said, coverage guys have to get ready to run right back down the field again.
And there's McGarrahan. He's a little bit of an oxygen bottle. Leslie Shepard could have returned that ball. He misjudged it up in the sun here, Scott. He didn't get underneath it quick enough.
Bidwell will let go from just about the goal line. That one's not as good. Shepard again, fair catch called for at his own 48-yard line, and that is where the Dolphins will start out offensively after a 42-yard punt. The creator of Ally McBeal of the practice and
awesome right there. I mean, twice had to go down and cover those kicks and did a good job of beating a double team that time to force Leslie Shepard to fair catch that ball.
First down for the Dolphins now from their own 48. Time running shy here in the first half. And Smith banging his way down inside the 44-yard line. He picks up more than 8 yards, taken down by Brian Williams.
God, here's a Sunday afternoon for Scott McGarrahan and Alan Rossum down here trying to beat double teams. McGarrahan, you know, you get kind of grabbed and clawed and kicked, and you get sat on right there. Then, you know, you got to come back and you point at the guy that was knocking you down, and then you slap him in the helmet saying, I'll see you next play.
That was Corey Bradford in punt coverage. His first game back. Fiedler's throw incomplete, but a flag on the play. Looks like Mike McKenzie got there a bit early.
And he did get there early. I don't know if that ball was catchable or not. But for these Dolphin fans who've been sitting on their hands right now, something to cheer about.
34 defense, automatic first down.
Mike McKenzie making his first start since the opening day against the Jets. He injured his knee in that day, and here's the ball on the outside, and McKenzie probably does a little too aggressive coming through the back of Shepard there.
Oh, it was a catchable ball. Shepard did get a hand on it. In fact, went right through the midst.
Kind of bumped him a little bit.
Well, first down from the penalty, and now Fiedler rolling out. Got his man Gadsden, and a tightrope back for the completion down inside the 19-yard line.
Great play action fake that time. We said everything comes off the run for the Dolphins. They run a bootleg fake, and Fiedler put a little heat on that ball this time. That's a nice job of coming down, knowing where his feet are without having to look down. A high ball, and nice job of getting down. No room to spare there on that sideline. The guy that, you know, Drew Pearson did a great job of getting him involved and coming back into football when he was in Dallas working for him.
On first down, Conrad out of the backfield is taken down by Harris after virtually no gain. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Jay Fiedler trying to get his team on the scoreboard here late in the first half. Time to go in this first half, and the Miami Dolphins, who have been shut out throughout this first half, have their best opportunity. Jay Fiedler just on the edge of the red zone now with his second down facing him. And there you see it, 29th in the NFL in red zone offense. Thurman Thomas is back there with him out of the shotgun formation on second down. Up on top, the fade, right through the hands of Gadsden. That is the pattern, Brian, that he loves to run, and it was right there for him.
Yeah, probably not enough air under the ball for Gadsden to go up and get it, like you would in a basketball game, taking it off the rim, but working against Tyrone Williams. Size advantage, reach advantage right here. It's a good shot right here. Nice throw by Fiedler, right through the mitts. And you can't ask for a better throw, and really better positioning by Gadsden on the play. Nice shot there. Got to bring that one in, especially when a team is struggling. You got to go make that play.
Big third down play. They've got to get it to the 9-yard line for the first. Fiedler, the quick throw. Now movement after the catch. First down yardage and more. Inside the 5-yard line. It forced out of bounds by Todd McBride. But Aronde Gadsden bounces right back and gets his team a first and goal.
Well, first of all, there's going to be a big blitz here by Green Bay. So look at a cushion here that Williams has given Gadsden. And Fiedler sees it right away. Now it's up to that receiver who missed a play before to go make a play. And he never let Tyrone Williams get into his body. That was the key. He's so big, Scott. We saw him yesterday. You know, in a typical modern-day receiver now, big body, never let Williams get into it.
Well, Gadsden with a 17-yard pickup down to the 3-yard line.
Nice decision by Fiedler, though. Read the blitz well, got the ball in a nice position for Gadsden to go make a play. John Theory limping off the field.
He's playing with a bad knee and a shoulder, both of which are going to require arthroscopic surgery probably when the season ends. Right now, Theory has been enjoying one of his best seasons in the NFL.
Wannstedt's the one that drafted him in Chicago. You know, a guy that came out of a small school and was asked to play defensive end when he was really a linebacker body. Really, this elephant end that Green Bay plays him in, he's been real successful in.
First down and goal. And there is Smith. Can't quite get there. A saving tackle for Brian Williams, who had his ankles. It's just inside the 1-yard line.
Brian Williams working his way back into shape. Here's Rob Conrad here. Going to get a seal block on Tyrone Williams. And Mark Smith thinks he has a path to the end zone. Brian Williams, nice job inside out.
Dolphins tried to quick snap that, but the Packers, who did not have personnel on the field, got a timeout in.
That's their third and final one. It will be a 30-second timeout.
So it'll still be at the 1-yard line with second down and goal for Jay Fiedler when we come back. Days away. Sometimes certain trips are worth it, and so far this has been.
Scott, I know you're looking for an outfit for Tuesday night, you know, going through the neighborhood with your kids. A couple suggestions right there for you.
Yellow might not be my color. Second down and goal. And Fiedler is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Nice surge right behind Tim Ruddy, the center. He's been playing at a Pro Bowl level here in Miami this year. That was important for Miami to get on the board here, Scott, before the first half.
And Fiedler with his first career rushing touchdown of the NFL right behind his center, Tim Ruddy. Dave Wannstedt's team now on the board. And Olindo Mare now on to attempt the extra point. 15 out of 16 this season. He nails it and makes this a 10-point game again.
Jay Fiedler's waited a long time to become a starter in the National Football League, Scott. And takes the ball from Tim Ruddy right here. Nice surge right in the middle. They just a wedge blocking by the two guards, Mock Dixon and Donnelly inside. Watch the surge here. This is what Miami's been doing this year. You see these Packers getting pushed back into the end zone. See Russell Maryland about 3 yards deep in the end zone. Good surge.
Now, coming up on the Visa Halftime Report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports sticker will have up to the second stats, all coming up on the Visa Halftime Report.
Jay Fiedler, a guy that almost quit football. You know, in 1996 and 97, he was out of football after being released from Cincinnati, Scott. And, you know, he was helping to coach Hofstra out there on Long Island, the Flying Dutchman, working with Lance Schulters and Gio Carmazzi. And he said it was a great experience. He actually learned a lot about preparation, learned a lot about receivers and what they think about. And I think it's really helped him. And here it is. It's been a long road for Jay to get here. And so when you take the long road, you relish every day at that position all the more. Really coming back, Brian Billick there in Minnesota, and Denny Green gave him a good shot in 98 to get back into the league.
Allen Rossa from his own 5-yard line, returning the kickoff from Murray, and gets it out to the 25-yard line. Green Bay, of course, now without a timeout remaining at 1:09 left here in the half.
Well, you know, really, Jay Fiedler's not the only quarterback. I mean, a lot of guys that are starting in this league have taken the long road. We put so much pressure on young quarterbacks in this league to come in and play well right away. But look at the success that Gannon is having out in Oakland this year, that Chandler's had in Atlanta. Steve Berline, one of the more accurate quarterbacks, thrown for more yards than any quarterback in the league last year. Certainly Doug Flutie getting the time in Canada, and Jeff Garcia out in San Francisco. Guys got a chance to learn, to watch, to absorb, to play in other leagues, and that's what that position is about, learning how to manage it.
Mike Sherman looking on now as Favre, who has had a superb first half. Only 73 yards, but an accurate 10 out of 12. Brings his team up now. And they will go back to the run. There's Green. Big hole to run to. Kicks it outside. And Amon Green with a pickup of 27 yards.
You got a lot of stop and start in Amon Green. You know, with Dorsey Levens right now banged up in the locker room, it's going to be the Ahman Green show.
Check that, 22 yards on the run, out to the 47. And now it's Green again into Dolphins territory. Taken down by Derek Rogers at the 48. Green Bay working without a timeout for Mike Sherman.
Green Bay without a reception to a wide receiver today. Favre just taking what the defense allows him right now.
And they're going back to the run, and look at Green all day to do it. Now can they get in time to be able to spike the ball? They're going to try to set it down, but the clock running now with no timeouts remaining. Favre's telling the offense he wants to spike it. And he does. Oh, the fake. And throws it away with 2 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, who made that play popular? That was a Dan Marino play against the Jets probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Up at Giants Stadium, that got an awful lot in terms of headlines.
Well, they worked the clock great. You can see here, they've worked on this. The fake kill. And the receivers are still covered. These corners done a great job of taking them out of the game. And Longwell's made one from 51.
Going for a season long of 53 yards here on the last play of the first half. Gets it up and out and no good. So that's the end of the first half with the score. Green Bay 17, Miami 7. Fox NFL Sunday continues. JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will be along for the Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox. Who have never. The Dolphins in South Florida on a 10-point lead, largely due to the performance of Dorsey Levens. Came in with 1 rushing touchdown on the year. He had 2 in the first half. With the score, Green Bay 17, Miami 7. We'll return to Miami for the start of the second half after these messages from your local Fox station. 7 Packers on top here at halftime, and Green Bay, for the most part, dominated the first quarter and a half of that first half of play, largely with a ball control offense, and also did a great job defensively.
Well, really, you know, Miami's done a great job of taking away the receivers from Miami like we thought that they would. So Brett Favre has gone to his checkdowns. He's gone to Levens. He's gone to Ahman Green. You know, and then they got a couple of plays. They got a couple of defensive pass interference penalties, which set up some scores. And so, I mean, here it is right here, both on Terrence Shaw. This one in the end zone against Billy Schrader. Kind of a questionable call right there. And then down the sideline, some good hand fighting going on again with Schrader and Shaw. And Green Bay getting both those penalties, setting up scores.
Well, what it also did was it gave Green Bay an opportunity to come from in close and to rely on a guy who has not been as reliable for them this year due to some nagging injuries. But Dorsey Levens had a big first half.
Well, he did. You know, and he gave him some punch out of the backfield, and then it's a comfort zone for Brett Favre. Finding him over the middle of the field, coming out of the backfield. He knows he can depend on him. He's got great hands. And so it's just that safety net there for Favre. And right now, I mean, that's really what is being the Dolphins. I mean, they're just pecking their way down the field a little bit. And then the Dolphins really haven't had much field position on offense to work with. I think that was a factor in the first half.
Now taking a look at the first half stats from today's game. 7 points off turnovers for the Packers. The 1 fumble, the first that they have recovered this year. That was the only turnover of the first half. Total yardage, and you also see the passing yards for Brett Favre. That came on a strong 11 out of 14 passing performance.
But, you know, you asked me at the outset, what is Brett Favre doing in the offense this year that he didn't do? Well, he's much more patient. Now, with that patience also comes boredom. Brett Favre isn't going to be content just dinking this ball off to his backs all day. He's going to take a couple of shots here in the second half. I think for the Dolphins on offense, I think they have to stay with what they do best. Run the ball, control the line of scrimmage, and then find their big plays off of play action. Control the line of scrimmage, and then find their big plays off of play action.
Well, here it comes, and that is Autry Denson taking it back deep 4 yards in his own end zone. Trying to get something started here with a big return. And a good one as he gets it out to the 35-yard line. But Garahan takes him down on special teams, but good field position for Jay Fiedler.
Something I don't think they had a lot of in the first half. Jay Fiedler is not going to get rattled out here. And Green Bay is going to come after you with a lot of blitzes, and they did in the first half. And one thing about blitzing teams is they're going to hit you in the mouth. You're going to get a lot of no-gain plays, but then you're going to gash them. You're going to get a big one. And so that's what you have to tell yourself, that the big play is still there. The opportunity to go down the field like they did in the first 3 quarters of Monday night is still available.
Right back to the ground, it's Smith. A change of direction at the line of scrimmage. And a flag late on the play in the area of holding.
Yes, very late with that flag. Lamar Smith was almost to the sideline.
Is indeed a holding call.
Holding, 61 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Well, Tim Ruddy, the center, is flagged for holding.
Tim, who's had a great season so far this year, right here in the middle, snapping the ball to Fiedler. Got Russell Maryland. You know what? He got a left hand around his waist just for a second, way away from the play.
Right in the line of sight of the umpire, Jim Duke, however.
Yep.
See the numbers. The Dolphins have tried to keep that down, but the penalties today have been pretty big ones. Fiedler puts some time, and the receiver, Leslie Shepard, back to the original line of scrimmage. A diving catch, his first reception of the day, just outside of Tyrone Williams at the sideline.
A great protection inside, allowing Fiedler to stay comfortable in the pocket. Watch Jay's feet. They don't get nervous. They're not happy feet. This is a real good throw. He got a little bit of heat on this ball. It's a tough throw to Leslie Shepard on the outside. This took a while to develop. Running Tyrone Williams off and then coming back to the football. Good fundamentals there by Shepard coming back to the ball.
Well, it will be second and 10.
Corner blitz.
Corner blitz coming. But it's picked up as Williams has stood up.
Got him.
And there's Shepard. First down yardage inside the 30-yard line. Forced out by Butler. Great job by Fiedler of looking away from the side of the blitz.
I said that the big plays are there in this offense. They do a good job of creating them when they can run the football. You're going to see a corner blitz coming from this side right here. Fiedler doesn't really see it, but the backs see it. They come over and pick up Tyrone Williams here. There's the bootleg action, and most of their big plays come off of that bootleg. It buys Fiedler a little bit of time. Oh, double move on Mike McKenzie coming back from making his first start since week 1. A little rusty on that move.
Now back to the ground is Smith. Hurtling over tacklers.
Watch out for the bloom.
And Smith, who is so difficult to bring down, is taken out of bounds by McKenzie after a nearly 9-yard pickup. Mark Dixon, another springing block from the left guard position.
A lot of things going on with Lamar Smith. All of them between the tackles and all of them showing his strength. Watch this jump stop off of 2 feet. Boom. Now the cutback. Ball in the left arm. He got the stiff arm on McKenzie. Took a whole horde of defensive players to get him out of bounds. And that's been a bright spot here in Miami.
In the backfield now on second down. And back at it again. It lowers his head and fires for first down yardage inside the 18. And when they talk about him, and they say that Lamar Smith is so tough to bring down, he is so difficult to get a good hit on.
Well, first of all, he's stocky. He's built low to the ground, and he's strong legs. Hard to get a good shot on him. And in Miami, it seems like they've been trying to find a running back that they could feed week in, week out for a long time. A lot of guys have come through here. Dave wants that, like what he saw from Lamar Smith in the preseason. That's an eye chart. Look at all the guys. Stanley Pritchard, Lawrence Phillips, Byers was here. Terry Kirby out of football. Jarris McPhail, a high draft pick on him. John Avery, a #1 draft pick.
Big blitz up the middle, and Fiedler does get rid of the football. Flag on the play. Bernardo Harris coming in hard, and also Nate Wayne on the blitz. But we're going to have to wait and see on the flag as Fiedler got rid of it just before hitting the turf.
Field judge Kevin Mack threw that from deep in the secondary.
Pass interference, 34 defense.
Wow.
Automatic first down.
Wow, what looked like a bad play for Miami. And a sack against Fiedler turns out into a first down.
Now, Mike McKenzie got burned on the pump fake earlier on this drive. Gets called for a pass interference penalty.
Nate Wayne right here coming on the blitz. Along with Bernardo Harris.
On first down, Conrad in motion. The run for Smith. Harris slows him down. And Diggs is there to finish the job at the 15-yard line, a loss of about a yard.
Mike McKenzie, coming back into that starting role here, working on Leslie Shepard right here. Got his hands on him. Well, I tell you what, that's a phantom call.
Those are 3 pass interference calls that easily could have been non-calls in this one.
A lot of coaches in this league are kind of giving up on exactly what pass interference means anymore.
2nd and 11. Safety blitz coming. Fiedler to Gadsden. Touchdown.
Scott, you know how you play basketball with your kids when that 7-foot ball, when you go up to jam the ball, they throw you the alley-oop? That's all this is taking the ball right off the rim here. Something that Rondé Gadsden did with big house games at Winston-Salem State his freshman year in college. Working against Todd McBride, and there's just a size advantage there. Big hands, long arms, great touch by Fiedler on the throw.
So now Murray with the extra point. And suddenly we have got a 3-point ball game. Miami Dolphins coming back on the ups of a Rondé Gadsden. We have a ball game again here in Miami thanks to a Rondé Gadsden, a 15-yard touchdown catch.
He was with the Cowboys in Dallas, and he said Michael Irvin had as much to do with his development as anybody in pro football.
Rossum from his own 4-yard line. Good speed to the outside for Rossum, and he gets it out to the 25. A 21-yard return taken down by Derek Rogers. 3-point ball game here early in the 3rd quarter in Miami.
Quarterbacks in this league spend too much time looking in the backfield. Rondé Gadsden runs the fade. McBride's in good shape until right there. Now he looks in the backfield at Fiedler and not at the receiver, and that's when Gadsden wins that. Of course, it helps with a great throw by Fiedler and then an aggressive approach by Gadsden to go get the ball.
65-yard drive, a 37-yard pass from Fiedler to Shepard to keep play on the drive, and now they've come to life here in Florida.
That's taken a little over 30 minutes, but the fans are on their feet, and the defense is a little juiced.
Well, the Packers trying to get the offensive flow back, and it is Amon Green with a pickup of about 2 yards out to the 27. Darrell Gardner on the tackle. Now you look at the Dolphins over their first 27 quarters, 58 points. Their last 5, they have come very near that total. This is a team that allowed 1 touchdown in the entire of the month of September. First team in NFL history to ever allow just 1 score in their first 4 games. And now it's on the defense, down by just 3. Favre, a big rush coming. Perfectly set up screen, but Green can't hang on. Kenny Mixon applying the pressure. But for the second time today, Favre put it on the hands of Amon Green, and Green could not hang on to it.
Well, Green Bay's offense right now is not to look down the field. They're not even giving these cornerbacks a look. And all they're doing is just running those receivers down the field and trying to find things underneath, and that plays right in to the Dolphins' game plan here. It does help if Amon Green can hold on to the football, though. This is where they want it. Backed up, the crowd on the feet, hard to hear. Momentum on their side in 3rd and long.
Freeman, the man in motion. 6 defensive backs for the Dolphins. Favre to throw, but Freeman will be short of the first down. Out across the 33, Patrick Surtain with the tackle.
Defense is doing their job, and they're triggering the momentum shift here inside the stadium and really within the team. And that's where their emphasis is. That's where their high draft picks is. That's where the money is. Heck, Miami's offense, it's just a collection of rejects. Well, guys that were in other teams and other leagues. You got guys that were construction workers in Canada.
Leslie Shepard back deep to take Bidwell's punt. A high kick and another fair catch for Shepard. And he gets hit. And I don't know if the man was actually hit into him. I believe that's the case, as Mike Morton ended up going down. Looked like he took a shot from behind, and that's why you've not seen a flag yet.
Well, I think he got hurt on it, too. Mike Morton, who was in St. Louis last year, the World Championship team.
By a receiving team member.
Special teams demon.
Oh, Morton is down. The Dolphins offensive unit gets the football back, trailing by 3.
Injury right here to Mike Morton by Trent Gamble, the rookie. That's a clip right there. He lands right on his tailbone and took a while to shake that one off.
He did get up in a walk-off. Now the Dolphins with the football at their own 37. Fiedler threw it behind the intended receiver and nearly a pick for Tyrone Williams.
One more look here at Mike Morton getting pushed in the back. Here it comes right here. Boom. Landed right on that tailbone. Ugh. It's going to be a tough ride home tonight. Hope he has a lot of cushion in the front seat of the car.
6-year player out of North Carolina, was part of the St. Louis Rams team that won the Super Bowl last year. And there's Trent Gamble.
Yeah, the rookie, one of the 5 rookies here on the Dolphins.
Second down on the shotgun now for Fiedler. And an incomplete pass. Bernardo Harris there in coverage on Leslie Shepard.
Oh, talking about rookies, Scott, one that has played really well for Miami this year has been the right tackle, Todd Wade. He was their first draft pick this year. He's working on Vonnie Holiday here. He's been playing a good game here today. He's just been real solid there. You know, he's getting the rookie treatment from Tim Ruddy and some of the veterans on that offensive line, but you know, he's a big guy. You know, I mean, that's a tower there at right tackle, but he doesn't play like a rookie. He plays with a lot of confidence. And you can see him holding down that right tackle spot for a long time. Very athletic.
They're down on the full 10. Big rush coming. Fiedler trying to stay alive. Will now try to run it. Ooh, and he's short. Santana Dotson pursuing from behind. And also Kabir Baja-Biamila.
Well, you know, just try to give the rookie a little bit of pub here, Scott, right? And he gets beat for the first time today. Here he is right here now, and he's in good shape. He never gets his hands on Kabir. Kabir, just a speed rusher, doesn't want any part of the mountain man inside. But Fiedler now has a lot more athletic ability than anybody thinks in this league. He's trying to buy time to make a throw and nobody's open. And then he just gets splattered.
And now a fake, and that's going to be a first down.
That's the captain, Izzo.
Izzo's got a big run in front of him. Trying to catch him, now the fumble. And it looks like the Dolphins got it back. Scramble for the ball, the Dolphins have it. Recovered by Robert Jones down inside the 16-yard line.
Well, the big concern from Larry Izzo today was because he was starting in place of Zach Thomas, were they going to relieve him on some of the special team duties? Well, in some cases, yes, but not on the punt team. He's too valuable.
And there is Izzo, his first career rush. And on the gadget play, he had a big field to run with, Ryan.
Well, Ed Paris, the snapper right here, is going to just short snap the ball right to Izzo. That's a bad, I mean, he fumbles the ball, but the hole is so huge. Now he looks like Larry Zonka barreling down the field. Well, good Matt Hustle here to get to the ball as Izzo lost it. And here's Izzo. Look, he's looking right at the ball right now. And he's got the gloves on. He doesn't field it cleanly as it's a little bit slow, but now there he is in traffic. Is that Larry Izzo or Marshall Faulk in traffic? Well, knocked out from behind. And Green Bay, who only has one fumble recovery all year, earlier in this game in the first quarter, had a great opportunity there to negate that play. The captain of the special teams the last couple of years makes a huge one.
There is a kick formation. The offensive team is restricted from blocking low. We have a low block. The penalty is enforcement is from the spot where the ball is declared dead, 15 yards. It'll still result with a first down.
Now they're going to be moved back a bit now. Back to the 31-yard line for blocking low out of a kick formation.
But after there was possession. So he picks up the fake right there, and they have down the field. You can't throw the low block below the waist at that point. You got to keep things high. On a play that's a change of possession.
Nonetheless, Dave Wanstead still has to be happy with the way things worked out for him on the gadget play, keeping a drive alive, and now Miami with the ball inside the 35 of the Packers.
But when you try to come back from a hangover from Monday night, you got to supercharge the team in some ways. That call, I think, will help energize them.
Weaver, the tight end, in motion on first down, and play action. Fiedler in trouble. The dump off pass, and Smith can't get it to the outside. Good job by Bernardo Harris, who's staying with the safety valve receiver for no gain on first down.
When you come out of Dartmouth College and you're Ivy League, people just think that you beat them and you're going to beat teams and you're going to win a position in this league because you're smart. Well, Jay is smart. He also is a pretty good athlete. Here, what I like about Jay scrambling here is his eyes never get taken off downfield. They're always looking down, trying to find another receiver. He's not looking down to the ground the way a lot of young quarterbacks do as they try to get out from the maze of being chased by defensive players.
Modest but effective numbers here today so far. Up top for Shepard. And a bump down the sideline on McKenzie will likely result in his second pass interference call of the day.
That's why you have to take your shots down the field in this league. Scott, you have to test these corners. Mike McKenzie, who hasn't had a lot of repetitions coming back from a knee injury, getting worked on a little bit here today. He can't believe it, as the contact was a little light, but nonetheless, just enough. Number of big plays today on the outside by the cornerbacks. That's a legal chuck right there. McKenzie threw the arm into Shepard. He initiated contact before he looked. And that's why the flags came out.
Smith and Conrad in the backfield now on first down inside the 15. Lamar Smith spinning his way inside the 5. Should be another Miami first down and goal to go inside the 4-yard line. Leroy Butler on the hit.
You know, these Packers played the New Orleans Saints last year, Kirk. And Lamar Smith played tailback for the Saints. And they remember him. Brian Williams was saying that he's a very difficult guy to bring down. And there it is. He breaks a lot of tackles, runs right over Darren Sharper. But that's what you see time and time again from Lamar Smith, the ability to break the first hit, to break tackles and keep falling forward.
First down and goal to go. Dolphins try to take the lead. Smith waits for his blocks and pounds into the end zone for the touchdown. Miami now 3 for 3 today inside the red zone.
Well, their ability to run the ball inside the red zone has been huge.
And what a turnaround. Monday night, the big lead that they lost. Now the Dolphins 17 down and rallied to take the lead. 21 unanswered points for Miami. And Lamar Smith has put the Dolphins in front. 21-17 here in South Florida. Now, if you're in Miami, you see a lot of different sights. Some prettier than others.
I want to see that boat again.
I didn't think you wanted to see the skeleton mask again. Here's Rossum. Past Mare, he dances his way out of bounds. Out of the 28-yard line. There you go.
Well, you know, Scott, I was down there in Miami Beach yesterday trying to get a little flavor. And I saw the boats parked off there. I knew they were having a better time in those boats than I was out there talking to Packer fans. Now, Packer fans are a lot of fun, but they don't have boats down here in South Florida.
Very rarely. Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, scary offense right now. The way that they're controlling the line of scrimmage.
Have come back to take the lead after trailing 17-0 with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Farther work play action. And there's the open man, Henderson, out of the backfield. A lot of room to run. And he is ridden out at the 49 by Brock Marion after a 20-yard pickup.
God, we said the tight end, Hunter Goodwin, has been an excellent blocker. Here he is on a seal block on Bonnie Holiday as the tackle, Todd Wade, pulls around and Niall Diggs. And then a good lead block by Rob Conrad. On that strong side, the tight end right there, Hunter Goodwin, doing a great job on a defensive end of sealing him and giving Lamar Smith this push. Now, the rest is Lamar Smith. That's just leg strength, pushing the pile into the end zone.
The fake punt. turning into a score for the Dolphins. A lot of room for Green on the outside with a big block. Flag on the play. Marion shed his blocker and drops him down inside the 35, but a lot of flags.
I think it's going to be Sam Madison came on a cat blitz that time.
Holding, 76 offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
76 is the left tackle, Chad Clifton, the rookie. You're going to see right here, Sam Madison's going to be coming in off the edge, and here's Clifton here. There's the hold. Just grabbed Jason Taylor right by the head. Got the hands up a little bit too high, and that's a mistake that a lot of linemen make in this league. They get too high on guys when they're not underneath them. Got to keep the hands inside.
Penalty aside, Clifton, a very poised rookie out of Tennessee. There you see the penalties. That was a big one, eliminating a big game. Off play action. The tight end wide open, Tyrone Davis. Out across the 50-yard line. He got all of it back, plus one to spare.
That's amazing that the Packers are in this game because basically they're playing 9 on 11. Their two receivers are completely out of this game plan right now. And that's credit to Patrick Surtain and Sam Madison. And when Terrence Shaw has been in there. Everything that they've gotten so far in offense has been from the tight ends and the running backs in the middle of the field or the check down lanes. And Brett said, hey, look, you know, it's going to be tough to score against these guys. He knew it going into today.
Four wide receivers now on second down for Farr. And throw is incomplete. He was looking for Bubba Franks. And he says that Franks ran the wrong way.
Well, you know, he's getting on the rookie there, but the way that you beat that press coverage of Miami, Scott, is you run crossing routes. You run crossing routes and you create interference. Fred is demanding. You know, when guys don't run the right things and do the right things, he can't help but get on it. And in South Florida here, they saw that from Dan Marino over the years as well.
He says, I don't trust anyone. Third down. Pressure coming. Now Henderson will try to do it himself. And taken down. Ball on the ground, but they say the ground caused the fumble at the 44. It was Terrence Shaw on the head, about 3 yards shy of the first down.
Now here's Billy Schrader. And I say that the way to beat this coverage is by crossing routes. Watch Schrader come inside here. But he's picked up on this double team right here. He's doubled on the play by Jerry Wilson along with Patrick Surtain, and they took him right out of the play.
So now Bidwell, who's knocked 8 of them inside the 20 this year, with a high snap. The directional kick, Jeff Ogden, and a try to return it. Oh, look at the room for Ogden. He could go. The escort down the sideline. Jeff Ogden is in for the score.
Well, that's a good cure for a hangover. The young player that was just traded for from Dallas a couple of weeks ago played in NFL Europe this year. With the Rhein Fire, had a lot of success over there, but he caught that ball on the run, and that will elevate you out of a Monday night malaise.
81-yard return for Ogden. Extra point attempt. Murray hits it. 28 unanswered points against Mike Sherman's team, and the Dolphin fans with something to cheer about.
Well, the key to Ogden in the return was, watch Ogden here come up and meet this ball on the run. He catches it on the run, and he beats the first wave. Now it's just vision. It's vision and athletic ability. Good chromosomes here because he's got speed. Picked up a couple blockers and a convoy along the way.
From what we saw in Europe, he was a playmaker. What you saw right there is a classic example of making a play.
Well, he got injured in the 9th week over there in NFL Europe. Otherwise, he would have been the MVP of that league this year. And that was the team that won the championship, the Rhein Fire. His quarterback was Danny Werfel on the other side of the field for Green Bay, but that's a backbreaker on the road. Now it's 2 special team plays in a row for the Dolphins that have gotten the lead for them. The fake punt by Larry Izzo and the return by Ogden.
So Ogden with the return. First punt return for a touchdown by the Dolphins since the 1993 season. And it's Jeff Ogden from 81 yards away. That time it had been O.J. McDuffie. And there is Mike Westhoff, the special teams coach for the Dolphins. He's got to be a happy man right now.
I saw Ogden on the field before the game. He was talking to Danny Werfel. He was out there running barefoot because that's what you do in South Florida. You know, we were out here running barefoot on this field. It's so nice and comfortable, and he looked comfortable in that return.
Deep kick. Rawson will field it from his own end zone, and he'll try it. Everybody staying in the lane. Rawson breaking tackles and will get it out across the 22-yard line. Taken down by Greg Jeffries.
Talk about Larry Izzo, the captain of the special teams. Had a busy day today, making his first NFL start. Takes a fake punt. Now here he is on the return team. Tripped up down there, you know, not allowed to. Stepped on a few times, bruised. Never had a chance to see them. There he is on the cover.
Coming out here on first down, and now the noise is almost deafening here in Miami. Clark trying to lead his team back once again, and Green with a nice catch off the dirt. And Turb at the 26-yard line.
Got to say, the way to beat this press coverage is crossing routes, and that's exactly what Green Bay is doing now. They put Antonio Freeman in the slot, covered by Patrick Surtain. But watch him. He's going to take him across this field right here. Run him into the umpire, into some interference, and that's the way that you beat him. You actually run him into a bunch of other guys in the middle of the field, just like crossing a crowded highway. Let them pick their own self off.
Second catch of the day for Freeman, trying to get on track. Now with the blitz coming. Good throw across the middle, and Schrader makes his first catch of the day.
They just did the same thing with Billy Schrader that time as well.
Last 5 possessions, there has not been a whole lot happening. The Packers cashed in early on a couple of pass interference penalties, good field position. Brian, they've had difficulty sustaining drives.
Well, you know, but they're changing the code right now. And the code that the Jets did against this Dolphin defense is exactly what we've seen the last couple of plays. A lot of drag routes and underneath routes to force some interference with these great cornerbacks. That's the way they created the opening.
Freeman again in motion on first down, and now back to the middle. Ahman Green nearly had it stripped, and now there he goes. Taken down from behind by Brock Marion after gaining a first down out to the 45-yard line.
But when you have a fierce pass rush the way the Dolphins do, you want to draw them. You want to sucker punch them is what you do. You bring Gardner and Jermaine Haley up the field. Ahman Green, nice job of hanging on to that football as Robert Jones tried to strip him. That's very close for Ahman Green to make a big run. He's upset because Big Red yesterday, Nebraska took it on the chin to Oklahoma.
First down again. Barr buying time, and now a little shovel attempt is incomplete. Now you want to talk about improvising. That is improvisation at Brett Favre's best, although it may not have been his best effort.
Well, he doesn't like to have to be at his best. Basically, when the play breaks down, that's when the play begins sometimes for Favre. He'd rather chuck it out there than probably take a late hit from Darryl Gardner. Of course, once he's outside the pocket right here, when you throw it underhand like this and shovel, it's a forward pass, and outside the pocket there's no intentional ground.
For Mike Sherman, Favre had a pair of those big scrambling plays in the win over the 49ers 2 weeks back. Play clock winding down. They got it all, and it is incomplete.
Ahman Green never looked.
Now the question is, did they get it off? I think it's a delay call.
Prior to the snap being made, delay of game. Offense, 5 yards.
Right now, let's return to James Brown on the Fox Network. Since trying for respect, have been 3-0 on the road coming in. Not the easiest place in the world to play, though.
The Lions were one of the surprise teams in the league in the first half of the season.
There's Henderson. Gets his way across the 50-yard line and down to the 47. 13-yard pickup.
Well, William Henderson is an underappreciated player in this league, and I think on this team as well. He doesn't get a chance to carry it really very often. But when he does, he's effective. Also a very good receiver. In fact, that was his first carry of the season right there. That would be underappreciated.
Nearing the end of the first half of play, the Green Bay Packers had it well in hand with a 17-0 lead, but there's been an avalanche of 28 unanswered Miami Dolphins points. The end of the third quarter with the score Miami 28, Green Bay 17. We'll continue after a word from your local Fox station. 28-17 as we start the fourth quarter. The Miami Dolphins have turned it around. They had it turned around against them Monday night. They have turned it back around here today.
Yeah, and they've done it with big plays. Got them special teams today. You know, you got the fake punt by Larry Izzo, got a first down out of it, 39 yards, and Ogden with the touchdown on the kickoff. And I think right now that it's in Brett Favre's hands. And Brett says that he practices the 2-minute drill full speed every Thursday, and they're going to be in that situation here in the fourth quarter.
On the bootleg, open man is Franks, and first down yardage, now the fumble. Now they're going to say an incomplete pass. He never had possession. Now, you know, the Dolphins have come back. Here's how they've done it with his special teams.
Larry Izzo, the captain of the special teams, and the fullback on it, making his first start. He takes the fake punt, and then Ogden returns the punt 81 yards. And for a guy that they picked up from the Dallas Cowboys, that was Chan Gailey who recommended him. Had him in Dallas last year when he was the head coach and knew that he has the chance of being a playmaker.
Now there he is, lurking back there again at his own 10-yard line. The punt from Josh Bidwell. And let it go. Bidwell trying to knock it dead inside the 5, but it rolls into the end zone. And it will be a touchback. A 48-yard punt for Bidwell. Mike Sherman's team, early fourth and an 11-point hold.
I think that's just a rip-off. I always expected 2 or 3.
Don't come to my house. Lamar Smith not getting much. In fact, a loss of about a yard on first down. Let's get an update on the condition of Dorsey Levens from Drew Smith.
Thanks, guys. Dorsey went in about 3 minutes before halftime. Bruised right knee. That's not his surgically repaired knee, but he hit it good enough, so he is still in the locker room. He will not return today. We have not seen him out here in street clothes either. Back upstairs.
It's been tough staying healthy for Dorsey Levens ever since that Super Bowl year, and I know it's frustrating.
Now Favre has one less weapon in terms of his checkdowns here in the fourth quarter. Fiedler's got an open man. Maybe a bit late to Conrad and incomplete.
There's that play-action fake again of Fiedler. Everything off of that bootleg where he really buys himself a lot of time. Had Rod Conrad open on the sideline.
Numbers in the fourth quarter this season. Once again, efficiency is the first word that comes to mind for Jay Fiedler.
Well, just talking to Chan Gailey, he said that, you know, the offensive coordinator came here from Dallas. Dave Wannstedt really wanted him here. One thing that Chan is always going to do is he's going to emphasize the run. And that's something that the Dolphins never did with Dan Marino. They talked about it. They gave it lip service, but they never stayed with it.
Third down now. They'll operate from the shotgun. And a quick throw trying to make something happen with McDuffie. He'll get it out to the 25-yard line. Santana Dotson again in pursuit from the defensive line. Stops him shy of the first down.
Well, the Dolphins offense right there, a little conservative on that call, but with the lead, they want to protect the lead. On the other side, the Packers did a great job of getting the ball back.
So now it will be up to Matt Turk in his 6th year from Wisconsin-Whitewater. Not that far from Green Bay. Alan Rawson back deep to return the punt.
Yeah, a guy they picked up from Philadelphia this year who's a dangerous return man if he gets a chance.
Another high kick from Turk. And Rawson says fair catch at the 35-yard line. The Miami Dolphins with the 28 unanswered points, a 41-yard punt. Green Bay gets it back when we come back. Well, there they are, the quarterbacks, Sam Madison and Patrick Surtain, trying to shut down Brett Favre. And the throw to Bubba Franks. Putting his head down, gets it to the 45-yard line. 21 yards on the first down pickup.
What you've seen from Franks here, who is slowly taking over the starting tight end spot here in Green Bay, his ability to make a play after the catch. Catches the ball well in the middle of the field and then was able to turn his shoulders up and get some yards after the catch. In order for Favre to make this play-action throw, he needed a lot of time. Kind of scanned the field there, and he got good protection from those two rookie tackles, Clifton and Tauscher.
Well, Franks gets his team down to the Miami 45-yard line, and Favre will throw again. Wow. A pistol shot to Schrader down at the 31-yard line for 14 more yards.
That ball was hot. It came out of there hot. Working on Patrick Surtain now. Good route by Schrader. Look to the middle of the field. That ball got there in a hurry, and Brett Favre was joking with this yesterday, saying my receivers have to learn how to catch those hot balls. It comes out there fast. It hurts their fingers. And so he puts them up against the jug machine, the ball that just shoots out of the machine. He said that his arm is still faster than the jug machine.
Wasn't that way when he first came back off his elbow problem, but it's worked its way back. Now Amon Green with not much in front of him. Jason Taylor stops him. Pickup of about a yard on first down.
Jason Taylor up here in the end. I mean, good job of just squeezing this down here. Just a good job of swimming Chad Clifton that time. Clifton really has done a pretty good job of stifling him here today. The other guy that we haven't heard from at all today is Trace Armstrong. Leads the AFC in sacks with 10.
Hasn't been a good week for Trace. He was shut out on Monday night. So far again here today. Now Henderson the lone back in the backfield with three receivers on second down. Favre buys his own time and throws it out of the back of the end zone.
Armstrong was calling for a hold this time as he got double teamed by the tight end Tyrone Davis and Mark Tauscher, the right tackle. And here he is right here. He's going to split this double team, and he actually gets tackled. Right there. Kind of high load and grabbed by Davis at the same time.
Got his legs cut out from underneath him.
But that's how they've given Favre some time here today. They've kept the tight end there. They kind of doubled on some of these ends. They chipped on them a little bit. They've given these tackles a little bit of help. But overall, they've played pretty well here.
Third down. They've got to get it to the 21-yard line. No blitz coming. Favre's got his man, and Schrader can't hang on to a surefire first down at the 15-yard line. Schrader had gotten good position on Madison, but couldn't hang on to it.
Well, that time, Miami only rushed three. 1, 2, 3 right here. Gardner on the outside, and Mixon in the middle, and Armstrong. Look at this protection by Tauscher in the middle. And I did a Green Bay game. They lost to Chicago, and these receivers dropped too many passes here in Green Bay. That time, Schrader took his eyes off the ball.
Longwell is hit from 51, missed from 53. This 48-yarder is good. So that ends the 28-point onslaught, and Green Bay back on the board again. They are within 8 here in the fourth quarter.
Favre right there, 18 fourth quarter comebacks, talking to Ray Sherman, the wide receiver coach. Trying to figure out what's going on. A lot of drops here today from those wide receivers, or receivers in general.
Brock Marion inside his own 5-yard line to return the kickoff.
That's good cover.
Nowhere to go. K.D. Williams takes him down on a special team unit shy of the 20-yard line.
Now, you know, Miami has made a commitment to the run. They found their running back in Lamar Smith. Last week, they could not hold on to a lead in the fourth quarter, Scott, because they couldn't maintain the running game. And so that's going to be a test for this offensive line and this offense here in this fourth quarter today. That's when you want to be able to run the ball. You got the lead. It's the fourth quarter. Give it to the offensive line and let them go to work.
Not to mention the fact that it's hot, it's humid here. Yep. You're in the fourth quarter. Maybe you're wearing the Packers down a bit.
The Packers have been rotating defensive linemen to try and keep them as fresh as possible, but it's been a long game here. They've been on the field quite a bit here in the second half.
Smith generally very sure-handed, and a tough runner is in the backfield on first down for the 18. But it's a reverse. Shepard's got an escort. And Leslie Shepard across the 30-yard line out to the 32. A 14-yard pickup on the reverse.
Give Changalia a lot of credit on that call. I mean, we've seen some bootlegs from Jay Fiedler today. This time, Shepard in motion right here, and everybody's looking at him as he stalls a little bit. He comes back, and they really seal the corner. Rob Conrad out front with the convoy. Good recovery by Sharper that time to limit it to not a much bigger run. One wide receiver here, 2 tight ends and 2 backs.
Deion Dyer, a blocking fullback in front of Smith. Safety blitz coming on first down, and Smith doesn't have a lot of room to run, maybe a gain of a half yard. Right now, let's return to James Brown, the Fox Network. I'm remaining in that game.
Yeah, that was a Super Bowl MVP for the Packers. Super Bowl 30. Tight end out here, Jed Weaver, the backup tight end in the slot this time.
Weaver wants to throw on second down. Got his man. Flag on the play. Smith first down and more. Into Green Bay territory inside the 44. We'll see about the flag all the way back inside the 30. And it's a tripping call going to be called against the Miami Dolphins.
Boy, one side is hot.
71 offense. 10 yards. Repeat second down.
Todd Wade, the rookie, called for the trip.
Here's Wade, the right tackle on the play, working against Bonnie Holiday, and Bonnie beat him inside. Here's a better look at it. Working on Bonnie Holiday here.
Oh, yeah.
The left leg tripped him coming in. It's the last resort, as you do as a lineman. Linemen don't think that should be called. They think that's just part of their weapon. Anything to get the guy on the ground to slow him down. The type of mistakes that killed the Dolphins, though, in the fourth quarter Monday night.
There are the penalties. Nearly 100 yards in penalties against the Dolphins today. Fiedler again to the air on second down. Nice catch made at the 35-yard line by Leslie Shepard. Take it down to Drew Smith.
You guys mentioned the heat and the humidity. The Packers have some oxygen and the cold blowers over there. Right now, about 84 degrees. Not too much warmer than it was at game time, about 2 degrees difference. But they're sucking a lot of wind and a lot of water down on the Packers sideline. Now back up to you.
Well, there's the rookie, Mark Tauscher, right in front of the fan. If you're a lineman right here, you want to sit really close to that fan. Blow as much of that cold air on you as possible.
If you're that big, there's nobody going to stop you from sitting that close to the fan. Third down. They've got to get it just shy of the 42. Big blitz coming. The catch, and Thurman Thomas has a first down. Out to the 46-yard line. A 10-yard pickup. John Theory made the hit to knock him out.
Well, I tell you, Thurman's been doing this for a long time. In big spots, you can depend on him. He's a slot receiver this time. Nice read by Fiedler. Really a poor tackle that time by Tyrone Williams. I mean, to go down and think that Thurman Thomas is just going to trip over you with that type of effort for a tackle is a mistake. You got to wrap him up, and if you do, you save the first down. You get off the field.
Numbers for the 5-time Pro Bowler. Clock winds down now, and the Dolphins with another first down. They're not running, they're throwing. And McDuffie into Green Bay territory, down at the 48-yard line.
Now, one thing about this Changalia offense, and what a lot of people have to realize, this team can beat you a lot of different ways. They can spread the field like they're doing right now and isolate matchups. Fiedler's been accurate, and then they also can pound it also in between the tackles. There it is, when he has more than 30 pass attempts, which means they're not running the ball enough. They haven't won this year.
Still 7 away from what turns out to be a magic number of 30. Time moving. Back to the ground. And Smith keeps the legs turning, but not a whole lot on the play. Bernardo Harris with the tackle.
Efficient. That's what jumps out at you about Jay Fiedler. Not eye-popping, but extremely efficient. No interceptions there today. Gotten the ball in the end zone, scored a touchdown himself. Running the offense. And he's got the plays on his wrist, Scott. He's got all 65 plays on the right wrist and the left wrist, and they just call the number in. He practices with it, gets used to it, gets comfortable with that whole package of plays. About 65 of them on his wrist.
Nearing 6 minutes left, a big third down play. They've got to get to the 44. Fiedler got the open man, but overthrows McDuffie, who had separation on the play. from Antoine Edwards.
Just got run into by Santana Dotson. McDuffie's going to follow him to the sideline. McDuffie coming back from double toe surgery right here. Just going to kind of come in and then coming back out. Just an arrow route is what they call that. And the Packers still haven't figured out the bootleg here of Jay Fiedler and the Dolphins. They're still biting on it. The only way that they run play action is off that bootleg.
Now the punt by Turk. Rawson, the fair catch. Muffed the catch, but fell back on top of it at the 17-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go, the Turk punt has him inside the 20. The Packers with the ball down by 8. The quarter is Brett Favre time. Down by 8. His first pass is knocked away.
By that time, the pressure, Rich Owens got to him, but great coverage down the field. I was watching Antonio Freeman in motion, and they just sandwiched him, double-teamed him with Patrick Surtain and then inside help. And they've done a great job of containing Antonio Freeman today. Well, at this time of the game, you know, when you got to score, and you might need 2 scores, you need protection. 2 rookie tackles playing pretty good today, and it's hard to hear in this environment right now.
The sound getting louder with a man in motion. Favre back again. This time Schrader, the motion man, with first down yardage out to the 30-yard line.
Here's those rookie tackles. Mark Tauscher and Chad Clifton. Doing a pretty good job of protecting the flanks here. Tauscher is right here, working on the outside against Rich Owens. On the left side, Chad Clifton doing a good job on Kenny Mixon on the outside. Those guys got to be feeling good about digging their guys out and pushing them to the outside.
Clifton says this noise doesn't bother him. He played in the SEC with crowds of 100,000. He got used to this.
Yeah. Down there in the swamp against Steve Spurrier and the Gators.
On first down, Green. Nice stutter step move at the line of scrimmage to find the lane to run to. And he'll get nearly 10 yards on first down.
We saw him in the passing game, those 2 rookie tackles. Now they are against a draw. What you want to do is bring your man up the field and kick him to the outside here. That time, just take Trace Armstrong inside. You know, if he doesn't want to go outside, you take him where he wants to go. Nice stop and start that time by Amon Green as well. Those rookie tackles, by the way, Scott, they're the 2 babiest-faced kids I've ever seen. I don't think a Razor has seen their skin yet.
2 tight ends to help him now, but Favre going to throw on second down, up over the top, got his man, tight end, first down. Nope, couldn't hang on. Tyrone Davis could not hang on to the football. Favre put it there in Miami territory.
Going to run a crossing route here, trying to create offense, trying to get some kind of bump on those cornerbacks to create separation. Garrett Rodgers that time with the finish. Oh, great. Well, those eyes to the back of the head, huh? What an instinct by Garrett Rodgers to get that left hand up and interfere with that ball.
Green Bay just 1 for 9 today on third down. It's a big one. And Green powering forward for first down yardage out near the 45-yard line. Larry Izzo made the tackle. Once again, it is Brett Favre time. He got his team moving here in the 4th quarter.
Good search this time. Frankie Winters on the double on Mixon. Frankie getting to that second level on Garrett Rodgers right here. And Frankie in his 14th year still can dig guys out, still can get to that second level. With a good double team at the point and then shift off into the second level linebacker.
On first down, Green got room again. Into Miami territory, he gets inside the 48-yard line. A 7-yard pickup on first down. Coming up on 3.5 minutes left to go.
You know, for Amon Green, who's in his 3rd year in this league here, Scott, he's getting an opportunity to play where he never got a chance before in Seattle his first 2 years. With Dorsey Levin's hurt right now, it's his show from the backfield. Both in the check down game and then being able just to control the football and finding the open seams. He's getting more and more comfortable here in his offense.
Schrader, the motion man. Favre's got time and throws. Picked off. Intercepted by Brock Marion on a tip ball off the hand of Schrader. And Brock Marion with his third interception of the year. The Dolphins' 14th interception. And Miami's got it back with a chance to run some clock thanks to Brock Marion.
Maybe the only bad throw from Brett today. You're going to see Schrader's going to come down here, and he gets double teamed right here. Maybe force that one just a little bit, as Patrick Surtain was all over. Had a lot of guys drop passes on him today, and so I'd like to be able to see Schrader get both hands on that ball rather than just one.
There you see, tied for first in the National Football League with 14 interceptions. Heck of an athletic play to make the catch, plus the 28-yard return. First down. Nothing doing, maybe a gain of a yard, but let's look back.
You know, I mean, you're in the 2-minute drill here. You got to try and pick up some yards down the field. Patrick Surtain right there, not allowing Schrader really to get up in the air and go after that ball.
A timeout called for. Less than 3 minutes to go. Dolphins with an 8-point lead. Since Brett Favre took over for Don Majkowski back in 1992, he has been the master of the fourth quarter. The Dolphins right now have no fear of him, though. Second down with 2:50 to go. The ball at midfield. Whistles on the play. Looks like Hunter Goodwin may have moved.
Ball start, 83 offense. Please reset the clock. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Thank you.
Now there they are, the quarterbacks who've done a super job of taking the Green Bay wide receivers away.
Well, here's Surtain. Look at Surtain. They've thrown at him 7 times today and has defended 7 passes. I mean, that's a Roger Clemens performance. You know, Roger Clemens in the postseason for the Yankees and the world champions, just about perfect, and that's what those guys have done at the cornerback today.
Right through the middle. And Smith just keeps the legs churning as he gets it inside the 48-yard line. Ryan Williams, who told us that Smith runs like he's got a load of bricks somewhere inside that uniform, makes the tackle. Said when you hit him, he's just solid.
One guy doesn't bring him down.
So Green Bay takes another timeout. 2:42 left to go. Still within one score. And the Packers want the offense back on the field. Defense will have to hold here on third down. That's Shepard in motion. And Smith's not going to get first down yardage. They will elect to punt and try to bury Brett Favre and the Packers back deep.
Not able to control the ball and the clock with the running game, although Lamar Smith right now 159 carries on the year so far, a career high.
Green Bay is elected to use their final timeout. They still will have a 2-minute warning at their disposal, and they are going to get the football back. Lead for the Dolphins with 2:33 to play, and the Packers about to get the football back out of timeouts. Turk's punt. Looking for a corner. It's going to make it into the end zone. The Turk trying to pin the Packers back has given Brett Favre 80 yards of field to work with and 2:22 to go. Will try to do it again in the fourth quarter. 80 yards to go. He needs a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. First attempt incomplete, but a flag on the play. Surtain on Freeman, and he can't believe the call. Looks like it's going against the Dolphins.
Kevin Mack. That time the field judge threw the flag right on the sideline. He was right behind the play.
There is no foul. Both players were making a play for the ball.
Gary Austin with the call. Both players going after it.
Kevin Mack threw it. You can see that. The flag comes right here. There's the flag. Well, Kevin Mack throwing it, but it was overruled by somebody that had a better look at it.
Now, if you look at how closely Surtain came actually to making an interception, you can understand the call.
Well, that would be 8 passes defense for Surtain today.
Back to work. Big rush coming. Schrader. First down. Out to the 34-yard line, a 14-yard pickup. They're in the hurry-up, but may not get a playoff before the 2-minute warning.
Brett says he practices his full speed every Thursday.
It was not the 2-minute warning, and Green got him a couple of extra yards out to the 39. Now, will the play count?
The play doesn't count. It should go back to 2 minutes at spot. Prior spot.
2-minute warning.
It is the 2-minute warning. It looks like the play will stand. 8-point game here in Miami. With under 2 minutes to go. Antonio Freeman, who's had a disappointing week, was fined earlier this week, the subject of headlines. Brett Favre says he's been down of late. Only 2 catches on the day for 10 yards.
Right now in the slot against Patrick Surtain.
This is his spot to shine. Favre looks that way. Now rushed. He fumbles the football. And the Dolphins have it.
First time today that the pressure really got to Brett Favre in the pocket. Give a lot of credit to the coverage down the field as Brett had nowhere to go with this ball.
Trace Armstrong on the pressure.
Working right here against Mark Tauscher on the outside. Leads the AFC in sacks. One big play today from Trace Armstrong came at the most important time. Brett doesn't feel it. In their last comeback against the Chicago Bears a few weeks ago, the same thing happened on the other side. As he went to try to make a play, got hit, ball got knocked loose, and they lost it.
Now the Dolphins, now all they have got to do is kill the clock. Green Bay is out of timeouts. Taking a look at our game summary. Dorsey Levin's a big part of the first half. 2 touchdowns, but was then hurt. Jeff Ogden had an 81-yard punt return for a touchdown. 2 big special teams plays for the Dolphins. And an efficient game, under 30 passing attempts, again for Jay Fiedler.
Really, for Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers, he said, don't put the ball in my hands and us having to go the length of the field. Rely on that week in, week out. You're not going to get very far.
Said sometimes the magic is just not there.
He said, look, today it was going to be tough. Working against this defense, he knew it was going to be a challenge.
Today's game being produced by Raymond B. Smaltz III and directed by Joe Assetti. Our associate director, Bob Grossman. Our broadcast associate is Phil Mason. Our technical producer is Marvin Kale. Studio show produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The associate director is Jennifer Love. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. One more knee, and that'll do it. Well, the Dolphins, after watching a ball game get away from them on Monday night, had to deal with Brett Favre early today, and Green Bay with 17 unanswered points to begin it. But Miami came back with 28 unanswered points of their own, and they get a big victory here this afternoon, winning over these Green Bay Packers and improving to 6-2 on the year.
Dolphins offense was efficient, but their special teams were outstanding. 2 big plays. Larry Izzo and Jeff Ogden really was the difference.
We'll be back to wrap up today's action from Miami right after these messages.